you've decided to view this video where we're going to talk about a recent article that's titled From Gatekeeper to Guide, the Evolving Role of Quality in Automotive Launches. And we have with us today Richard Nave, who's with the Luminous Group and the author of the article, and Ali Rizwan. Ali is the chair of the ASQ Automotive Division. So welcome, gentlemen. Glad to have you today.
Thank you, Murray.
Thank you, Murray, for
So
inviting us.
to get to the point, automotive quality leaders are no longer just gatekeepers looking for compliance. In this interview, Rich is going to share how they can become guides, helping leaders align people, process, and tools for stronger automotive launches. Ali, do you want to give a few words about your comments, and then we'll ask Rich some questions.
Yeah, thank you, Murray, and Rich for writing the article. That article has been published into our newsletter, and it's going out as we speak. It's getting printed, and we'll be distributing this to a number of our other sub-organizations within the ASQ. Basically, what ASQ does is like take articles and the knowledge from the industry, like consultants like you, and see what is the change happening, because we're not focusing only on one area of a commodity. We go from commodity to commodity, and we also look at different aspects. A consultant looks at different aspects, whereas the OEM looks at their own product. So we bring knowledge to a different level.
Thank you, Ali. So Rich, let's get to you. In the fall 2025 Auto Excellence magazine, you wrote an article where you suggest that quality leaders can evolve from what you call gatekeepers to guides. Let's start with what inspired you to write that about the shift now.
Well, one of the things that we've really been looking at in the Luminous Group, Murray, is the fact that companies need to transition from being reactive to being proactive in a very general sense. Even if you look at something like a maintenance department, no longer should they be repairing machines, they should be doing preventive maintenance or even predictive maintenance. And it's the same in quality. It's no longer enough for the quality department just to detect bad parts after they've been made. The quality department is really transitioning into how do we build quality into our systems. And so rather than detecting problems in products, this is really looking at how can the quality department, the quality manager, the quality leaders help produce processes that are robust.
Great. Okay. Well, then let's get into the article. You write about the alignment triangle of tools, processes, and people. Which of those three do you find organizations most often underestimate? And why do you
That's
think
actually
that happens?
That's a nice softball question, Murray, because there's no question it's the people. Everybody wants to think that, oh, we can just, do a little bit of training on FMEA, or, I can hand you a CQI-8 manual and you can do a layered process audit. And nobody really thinks about the people. And how is this going to impact the job that they're doing? Will they understand why they're being asked to do this? And will they carry it out in a way that adds value rather than just checks a box? So there's no question on this one. It's the people that are really left behind right now.
Ollie, what are your thoughts about that? You've worked with some large companies and many suppliers. What are your thoughts?
I think Nave nailed it right there, because quality is people's business. Quality is not a check mark, because quality is the interaction of leaders with the people on the floor who touch, feel. And my view, in my experience, leaders do not touch and feel. The moment they touch and feel, you bring quality as a people's business and you embrace quality with the people on the floor. That is my view on that one.
Awesome. Great. Good. So Rich, you and I have worked together for, I think we said over 12 years now, and I've seen you grow and how you work with clients, but I'd like you to talk a little bit about what you definitely bring out in the article about when you're working hands with a client, maybe on the manufacturing floor related to an issue, how do you balance coaching leadership behaviors versus solving the immediate technical or process issue that they called you in to talk about?
It's a great question, Murray, and it really requires you as an outsider to look at all of these stakeholders. And it's easy to get caught up in managing the problem and just looking at metrics. How many bad parts did we produce today? Or how many, what's the throughput of the machine or things like that? And metrics tell one story. And I'm not saying that they're completely unimportant, but unless you meet with the people and you do exactly what Ali mentioned, and one of the specific ways that I do this is that when I'm engaged on site with a client, I have a leadership team, and you can call it a board or whatever, but that leadership team goes on a Gemba walk at the end of each day to talk about and see hands-on what happened that day on the consulting project. Okay. And they get to talk to the operators or the supervisors that we worked with that day on making change. And so one of the key ways is regular interaction that's planned at 3:45 every day or whatever works based on shift changes. And those people go out to the problem, to the Gemba, and they do exactly what Ali said. They put their hands on the quality, and that changes the perspective for everybody, for the leaders, for the supervisors, and for the operators themselves.
Great. So are you saying that behaviors can be measured and tracked just like we're used to measuring product and process?
Even more so. We hear about certain terms like leader standard work in lean. Okay. And there's also aspects of that in TWI and other programs. But yes, rather than just measuring the outputs, let's measure the
Mhm.
actual leadership behaviors that we want to drive, whether that's the number of times that they close a loop on a open issue or the number of times that they engage with a subordinate. We can track that and actually measure it, and those can become forward-looking KPIs rather than backward-looking KPIs.
Excellent. Great. Okay. Before we wrap up, Ollie, do you have some thoughts about how quality leadership could shift from being um, monitors or what's the word here? Sorry, gatekeepers to guides? What are your thoughts,
I think
Ollie?
that's a very interesting question. So, from monitors or gatekeepers, if the leadership takes the ownership should lie with the leadership alone. Example, if they have a corrective action at their 2:30 meeting or their daily meeting, that leadership should take the ownership of the corrective action along with the operator and say, me and you are in this same team. I'm here to support you. That makes a difference. If you tell somebody else you are using the blame game, you should not use the blame game, because in order for a company to survive, you have to take ownership by each and every equipment, each and every personnel who who work together. That's how leadership makes a difference from gatekeepers to taking ownership.
Great. Yeah. Thank you, Ollie. Yeah. So I've been in the quality function for, over
Mhm.
30, 40 years now, and it really is a people business, and I'm glad it's getting more exposure. So with that, I'd like to wrap up. Ollie and Rich, thanks for sharing your insights today. I think the key message is very clear. Quality isn't just about compliance, it's about enabling leadership, alignment, and lasting improvement. For our clients and colleagues at the Luminous Group, your guidance really reinforces how quality leaders can be the bridge between intent and execution. We appreciate you taking the time to walk us through this today. Rich, thanks for taking us through your article. And Ollie, thank you so much for joining us and for encouraging us to publish in Automotive Excellence.
Thank
Have a
you.
great day,
Thanks for
everyone.
inviting me. You too. Bye bye.
Thank
Bye.
you.